Hi, welcome to the Body Shop Physical Therapy. Today I'm going to go over the Egoscue Method for headaches. Before I begin, I would like to speak a word of life from 1 Peter 5-7. God resists the proud but gives grace to the humble. Therefore, humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your cares on him because he cares for you. So I'm going to do the menu for headaches, which is going to be composed of 6 different postural exercises that are going to address alignment that help decrease tension in the neck, which is something that can cause headaches. And there's many reasons for headaches that can come from various sources, such as dehydration or other problems. So please consult your medical doctor or physical therapist for the appropriateness of exercises for you. These exercises are going to be beneficial if you have tension headaches. So let us begin. I'm going to be using a belt. I'm going to use a wedge, so you can make a wedge if you've got a board that you can slant, and you'll see how that comes in with one of these exercises that we do. And I am going to use a block, and then I will have an ottoman, or you can use a chair. So the first one is the standing wall with block, and that's going to be for 6 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up against the wall. I'm going to place the block between my knees. I'm going to set my timer for 6 minutes. The time can be anywhere between 6 and 8 minutes. And so I'm just going to have my heels up against the wall. My hips are going to be against the wall. And then my upper back is against the wall. I want my abdominals to stay relaxed. I want my arms just to stay relaxed. And I'm not pushing my head back on the wall. It will come to a rest, and it will probably naturally eventually make its way to the wall, but you do not need to force it there. So this is just going to work on the proper positioning of all the load joints, and it's going to work from the positioning all the way from the feet up into the head and neck. So you want to keep your thighs tight, so you can tighten your thighs to straighten the leg, and you're just keeping your feet facing forward and your heels against the wall. So you can look down and you can check to see if the toes are facing forward, and you just want to hold this. Now, while you're holding, you can work on diaphragmatic breathing, taking nice deep breaths in from the lower part of the ribs. So you want to expand the ribs out. And as you breathe in, you will feel the ribs pressing against the wall. And a slow exhale. And one of the things we tend to do is breathe in, pulling the air in with our neck muscles. So as you pull the air in, think about keeping that upper back against the wall and not allowing the shoulders to rise up to the ears. And you want the ribs to be pressing against the wall. So taking a deep breath in, all the way out. 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 And I'm just going to check in with my body, making sure that I've got my upper back against the wall, my hips against the wall, my thighs are straight or tightened and keeping the knee straight, and my heels are against the wall with my toes facing forward, and they are. So keep holding this position. 6 minutes is going to seem like a long time. You can hold anywhere from 6 to 8 minutes. Going back to the diaphragmatic breathing. And you're probably getting close to the 6 minutes. I'm going to check my timer. We got 1.5 minutes to go. So I'm going to go back, placing the block between my knees. You can use a pillow for this. And you're not squeezing in, you're just using enough pressure to hold. And your feet should be hip width apart. Deep breath in, all the way out. Deep breath in, all the way out. Breathing in. Almost there. That is 6 minutes. Next is going to be the Slant Board ankle exercises, and I'm going to start with keeping my block, and I'm going to place it between my knees. You can use a pillow for this. You want your feet on a slant board, and then what you're sitting on, you want the knees at least 2 inches above the hips. You're actually not going to be sitting in good posture for this exercise. We're going to be rounding our back, so a lot of tension is held in the between the shoulder blades when there's headaches because of tension. So we're going to go into a slouched position, and I'm going to have a pillow or block between my legs, and I'm just going to keep my arms and shoulders relaxed going into that slouched position, and I want to press my knees in 20 times. So 1, relax, 2, relax, 3, relax, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Then I'm going to keep my knees pressed in, so I'm going to keep that squeeze and hold that, and then I'm going to lift my toes up, keeping my heels down, and then I'm going to lift my heel, keeping my big toe down. And I'm going to keep that squeeze as I go back and forth 20 times, keeping that rounded posture, looking straight, and just keeping that roundness in my spine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And relax. And you want to make sure you're pressing in the whole time as you're moving the ankles. Then I'm going to remove my block, grab my belt. I am going to put the belt around my thighs. And you want to keep the knees shoulder width or hip width apart. So I've got my knees hip width apart. And what I'm going to do is push my knees out into the belt. So I'm going to go back into that rounded posture, and I'm going to take my knees and push out into the belt, and I'm going to do that 20 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And then I'm going to keep that pressure, and I'm then going to lift my toes and then lift my heels and do that again 20 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, last one, 20, and that completes the ankle exercises slant board with the heels down, toes up. You want to take the board and then, or the slant board, and then reverse it so that your feet are facing downwards. You still want to keep the knee 2 inches above the hip. I'm going to go back to using my block, and I'm going to go into that rounded position and then pressing my knees in 20 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then I'm going to hold that pressure in and go up and down with my feet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Big toe stays in contact. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And then I'm going to take the block out. I'm going to go back to using my belt. And same thing I did before with the toes slanted upwards. Now they're just slanted downwards. I'm going to take my knees and press out into the belt. And I'm going to do that 20 times, rounding my spine and pressing apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then I'm going to hold my knees pressing out, and as I hold out, I'm going to keep that rounded spine, and I'm going to go back and forth with my ankles again, heels up, then toes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, keeping pressure in the knees apart. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So that is going to be the slant board ankle exercises, or ankle squeeze. Next, I'm going to do static extension. So to do that, you're going to use an ottoman, and you want to come up on the ottoman. You're going to kneel and walk your hands down onto the floor. This is a timed exercise, so I'm going to set the timer for 2 minutes. And I'm going to walk my hands down onto the floor. You want to take your hips and shift them about 6 to 8 inches in front of your knees. You want to let your shoulder blades sink close to the spine. You want to tilt your buttocks up towards the ceiling, and you want to just let your head hang down, and you're going to hold this for 2 minutes and take deep breaths while you're doing this. So you're just trying to pull the air in from the bottom of the rib cage and keep your neck relaxed. If you can only hold for 1 minute to start with, that's fine, and then just build up to 2 minutes. You're at 1 minute right here, 1 more minute to go. Again, you want your shoulder blades to sink close to the spine. You're tilting your buttocks up towards the ceiling, so you'll feel that arch in your back. And you just want to let the head hang and relax down. Almost there. Okay. The next one is going to be static back. And what I'm going to do is just add another pillow on top of the ottoman so that I can get in a 90-90 position. I'm going to bring my legs up onto the ottoman, and you can use a chair for this. That works really well. I'm going to hang my legs right over. I want my arms, my palms to be facing up 45 degrees away from my body, and I'm going to set my timer for 5 minutes, and we'll work on breathing in this position. So this is just going to allow the muscles in the pelvis and lower back to relax, and allows alignment in the spine, and that is going to address and help that tension all the way up into the neck. So we want to just stay in this position and hold it and let the lower part of the back just naturally come to a rest onto the floor. You don't want to contract your abdominals and force the back down. You just want it to happen naturally, just relaxing down. So while I'm here, I'm going to just work on diaphragmatic breathing, taking the breath in from the lower part of the ribs and breathing out. And as I breathe in, my ribs are going to be pushing down into the floor as I take the air in. So taking a breath in and all the way out. Again, as you breathe in, try not to let your shoulders come up into your ears. And try to let your jaw relax. Sometimes to get the jaw to relax, you can take your tongue and rest it on the roof of your mouth. And that should help the jaw relax. As the jaw relaxes, the neck will follow. And you just want all the muscles to let go of their tension and just rest in this position to get the body aligned. Taking a nice deep breath in. All the way out. So a recap so far, we did the standing wall with block for 6 minutes, and then the slant board ankle sequences, the series of hip adduction, abduction with the feet pointing up and then the feet pointing down, and then the static extension so that you're on the ottoman. Now we're in the static back and just in this 90-90 position. And we've got 2 more exercises. It's going to be the pullovers and then cats and dogs. And that's going to complete the menu of exercises for headaches. And the holds seem like a long time, and it's just to allow the body to align and reposition so that it can take tension out of the neck region that can promote headaches. So a lot of forward head posture where the head is in front of the body, it causes the little suboccipital muscles, which are the muscles at the back of the head, the back of the neck. They have to work really, really, really hard to hold the head up when it's not properly positioned over the spine. So you are trying to realign the body and change that tension so that it can help with those tension headaches. And we've just got less than a minute to go, 30 seconds, and that completes 5 minutes. And you can hang out here longer, but the 5 minutes is sufficient for what we're trying to do to get the lower part of the pelvis to relax and align the spine. So one more breath. Now for pullovers, what you want to do is collapse your hands in front of you and then just bring your arms down to the floor and then bring them right back up. And we're going to do 3 sets of 15. So starting with 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and taking a deep breath. Another set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, take a deep breath. And last set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And that completes the pullover exercise. And after pullovers, I'm going to do cats and dogs. And so I want to get into a quadruped position. I'm going to keep my hands right underneath my shoulders, my knees underneath my hips. I'm going to round out my spine and drop my head down. And then I'm going to arch my back and look up. And I'm going to do this 10 times, working on smooth movement. 2, looking up, rounding my back. 3, arching my back, looking up, looking down. 4, back up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. And looking up. So that is the menu for headaches. I hope this is of help, and have a blessed day. Thank you.